Right, okay. Wanted to make a video about the band name because that's probably been one of the most common questions I've been getting. And I keep thinking, oh yeah, I need to include that. And I've not really worked out yet how to work it into one of the history videos or something like that. So what I thought I'd do is I'd just make a video purely about that, basically, just talking about the band name. Now I think the first thing to say is during the 2 years of development, we never really got too worried about the band name. Now I can't exactly pinpoint when we came up with the name. In terms of that 2 year period between 16 and 18. Can't remember exactly when we came up with it, but so the name originally, anyway. And I'll tweet some stuff about this. There's loads of really nice pictures and stuff I can tweet out. The band name used to be Incense. That's what we were originally called. Not as in, burning sticks, but to incense someone. Do you know what I mean? To make them angry. At least I think that was the definition of it at the time. Anyway, I can't remember. But anyway, so that's what the name was. So obviously, when the management team got involved and it started to get a bit more serious, we were aware that we weren't going to be called Incense. We knew that we were going to call ourselves something else, but we had enough time to think about that over a long period. Now, as I say, it's not something we as a band really talked about too much, to be honest. We were purely focused on jamming, just making tunes, not really getting lost in that. Now, all the while, little ideas were coming up. Now, as I'm sat here now and actually thinking before, I can't remember any of the suggestions. So I know there wasn't really that many. So I suppose I'll just cut to the actual chase of, how the name came about. So anyway, it's pretty much as simple as I remember I was in Kipax and I was just going past, just turning into, is it Gibson Lane? Yeah. I was just turning in there just near where all them trees are, and I got a text from Tim. And his text said, "What about music?" as the name. What about, and then music in quotation marks. So I remember standing there for a second and thinking, what about the music? So that's what I replied to him. I remember replying to him saying, what about the music? And that's certainly my strongest memory of how it came around. Now, in terms of then taking that to the other lads and having a consensus, I can't remember that moment vividly and precisely, although parts of it are coming back to me. But I certainly remember anyway, when Tim said music and I thought, well, the music, I suddenly remember thinking, that's got weight, if you know what I mean. Now, in retrospect, going into the age we were going in with the internet and search engines and things like that, I suppose in retrospect it might not have been the best marketing decision ever, but again, that is the point. We didn't care. We believed so much in what we were doing. And the thing that struck me most of all was the arrogance of it. Now again, not that we're arrogant people, but I think as a unit back then, I think we had a healthy level of arrogance. You need to be able to create something, because if you don't have that arrogance and confidence in yourself, you never venture to try. Do you know what I mean? You never commit your mind to believing that you can, and that's one of the, I won't get into that too much, but I hate it when people say, "Oh, I can't do that." It's like, well, you have to believe that trying is worth it. Do you know what I mean? Rather than just saying I can't do it. Anyway, where have I gone now? So yeah, I liked the arrogance of the name. I did. I liked what it said about us, and it was more the fact of, in my mind anyway, it was like, this is the music and everything else is separate. Do you know what I mean? I liked what that said about what we were trying to achieve. Now, don't get me wrong. Obviously, well, even then, and now too, as I said before, you respect all music. But at that time, with what we were trying to do and what we were trying to say, I thought it was the perfect name. And as I say, I can't remember the moment we put it to everyone else, whether it was over the phone or whether we were together. but it was a very quick, unanimous, yeah, you know, we all liked it. And I think that was a big weight off our minds. Although, as I say, it wasn't something that was particularly on our minds, but it gave a name to what we were trying to do, which, well, I don't know, I suppose it's like having a child with no name. You know what I mean? It lacks something on it, do you know what I mean? When you're creating something like that, and to give it a name, and not only that, I mean, I don't want to get into this too much, but I won't make a separate video for this, but the artwork as well, which was all down to Tony Perrin, really, one of our managers, obviously, I'll say. The artwork choice was very much rooted in his actions and stuff like that, basically, and it cost him quite a bit of money to make sure we got the rights to that as well, I think, from what he said. But anyway, yeah, I think that name, that artwork, do you know what I mean? It was almost meant to be that. So that is the story of how the band name came around, and it's not particularly exciting. As I say, it's just Tim texting me saying, "What about music?" Me saying, "What about the music?" And then it's sort of going from there, and everyone's slowly thinking, "Well, yeah." I can't remember whether it's. I'm pretty sure we were all pretty into that name. I think we all liked what it said, and I don't know. We always wanted to let our music do the talking again. You know, we had a strong image, but our strong image was almost an anti-image, if you know what I mean. Look, we wore whatever someone gave us free. Well, I certainly did anyway. I was never trying to make any fashion statements. Do you know what I mean? I have 10 of these, 10 grey ones, 10 blue ones, and 4 at the same pair of jeans, and that's all I have when they're on rotation. I couldn't give a damn about what I wear. So I think although it's hard to explain really, but I think maybe one thing that stopped us maybe moving further than we did was, in the end, a lack of a strong image. I don't know, maybe that's, I won't get too much into that because, as I say, that's another separate video in itself. But, I mean, the name, the artwork and everything, it all played into, you know, our sort of anti-image with, you know, the name being hard to search, and you effectively limit the spread of your work, really, because, you know, for every 5 people who say, "Oh, have you heard of the music?" you know, 3 of the people they say it to will just let it go because they'll think, "What?" Do you know what I mean? They won't recognise that we're talking about a band name. I don't know, maybe that's a tiny example, but you get the point I'm making anyway. I suppose it's almost like, what is it in Peep Show, where Jeremy and Superhands decide to call the band various artists just to make it irritating for people to try and search. It's almost like a real life version of that, I suppose. I absolutely adore Peep Show. That's something I'd make, actually, videos about Peep Show and stuff like that. Anyway, but yeah, I mean, Mark and Jeremy's band in Peep Show, I just find hilarious because obviously, having done it, and a lot of the things they say, as ridiculous as they seem in that programme, are the sorts of things that, you know, you end up talking about, and all the names they have. I mean, it's just brilliant. So anyway, back to this, and there's not really much more. I have actually got some notes down here. I haven't looked at them once. I'm looking at them now and they're confusing me. Yeah, I think that's about it really. Yeah, we just thought it was a cool name. Do you know what I mean? We always just thought, well, our music's strong enough that it don't matter if it causes a bit of confusion. Do you know what I mean? It'll be a good thing. Who knows? But that's basically where the name came from. I don't think it's particularly that exciting, but it's a question that a lot of you have been wanting me to answer. I honestly don't think there's much more I can say about it. I suppose I could waffle for days about the meaning of it, and, you know, what it could mean, what it did mean, and what it might have meant. But ultimately, we just thought it sounded cool and made us. It was a mission statement, basically. Well, that's one thing I meant to say. You know, that's something we said in interviews a lot when people are asking us all these sort of different questions, really. We wanted to let the music do the talking. You know what I mean? I don't think we were ever particularly good at interviews. I mean, we weren't always in the best states. But anyway, I think we just always felt like we wanted our music to do the talking, and that side of it was not an annoyance, don't get me wrong, but it was always alien for us. It was always difficult. Whereas I think a lot of bands relish that opportunity to sit in front of the camera and give people their mission statement. I suppose that's quite sort of ironic, actually, given what I'm doing here. But you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. At that time, that wasn't what we wanted to do, because I don't think a lot of what we had to say was that interesting, really. We were just into making music. So I think that name said it all. Would I change it now going back? No, definitely not. No, I'd keep it the same. So yeah, if I can think of any more interesting things about this, or maybe I'll talk to the other lads, Tim or Tony, see if they can remember anything to sort of add to that. But that's definitely the genesis of that idea, anyway. So yeah, thanks for watching, and hope you're enjoying the sunshine, because it's absolutely boiling here. Bye.